if you don't get it, then get the out of Philly.
Castellanos, high fly ball, way back.
In from this side, who else? That baby chop.
Here's McConnell, can he get it off? Yes! Fumbles the football and the Eagles have it.
Jared McKinney making it rain.
Wayne Simmons wins it for Philadelphia.
Long drive. This game is over.
All right, welcome back to another episode of Philly Talk. Been quite some time since I recorded one of these. Life's just been very busy, but I made sure ahead of time. I was like, gonna get this day off so that I can do what I did last year. Trade deadline, MLB. We are here, same as last year. Gonna just sit here, let this thing record as trades come in, and then just, wait for them to come in. Once they do come in, I'll step back in, give my reaction. Obviously, it'll be cut up for the YouTube video, but very excited for this, especially because I woke up at 7 and I was like, oh, let's do this, but I was still feeling very tired. So I was like, oh, we'll just sleep in 1 more hour, and then I got up at 8. I went to go eat real quick, and as I was eating, a big trade happened, and I wanted to get here as fast as I could. But, some people decide not to put a trash bag in the trash can, which delays me a whole minute to coming to record this. Anyways, though, a lot has happened since the last Philly Talk episode, because last time we talked was May 21st. And the last thing we heard was Jose Alvarado's suspension. Man, things are very different for the Phillies. Sorry, I'm just looking at the messages my friend sent me about one of the big trades that just happened. So much has happened with the Phillies. Let's pull up the baseball reference page so we can take a more in-depth look. The Phillies right now are 61-47, half a game back of the Mets. They just lost 2 games to the White Sox. Disappointing stuff. At the trade deadline, everyone's stats are looking like this. JT's slash line is 270, 322, 393 with a 714 OPS. 7 home runs, 38 RBIs, 19 doubles. Good, not great, especially considering the OPS. Like, that's what you're going to see from a lot of our players. It's just their OPSs aren't that great. Bryce Harper's doing well, though. 266, 372, 495, 867 OPS. 15 home runs, 45 RBIs, 24 doubles. Has been doing really well in his past couple of games. But especially like getting that power back, and with the doubles and the home runs, like he's definitely gotten himself back. Bryson Stott, 233, 305, 340, 646 OPS, 12 doubles, 7 home runs, 41 RBIs. It's gotten to the point where 16 stolen bases isn't that bad. 36 walks to 66 strikeouts. It's gotten to the point with Bryson Stott where they even talked about, does the guy need a demotion back to AAA for a bit? Trey Turner, 289, 343, 431, 774 OPS, leading the league in hits with 127 hits. This might be, I think he's leading the whole league right now. I don't think it's just the National League. I don't know for sure though. 11 home runs, 44 RBIs, 25 stolen bases, 33 walks, 80 strikeouts. He's been doing really well as our leadoff hitter. I'm really glad we finally got to that point where he could be our leadoff hitter. And that's the thing that kind of made me sad a bit about the way Bryson Stott's been playing. Is he was doing well earlier. Him and Turner were the perfect 1-2. Obviously they'd interchange as the leadoff men. Now it's just basically Trey Turner. Alec Bohm, 278, 324, 391, 715 OPS, 8 home runs, 42 RBIs, 12 doubles. Oh, Trey Turner has 23 doubles, by the way. But Alec Bohm, just more of what we've seen. I know it kind of like, 278 isn't that bad, but like he's definitely stepped it up since like, I think it was like May or June is when like his stats have been good. But like at the same time, it's like, it's not anything too crazy. Right now he's on the 10-day IL. So kind of tough, but we've been getting by with like Sosa and Kemp. Max Kepler, 203 batting average, 297 on base, 357 slugging, 655 OPS. 14 doubles, 11 home runs, 33 RBIs. Just not that great of a signing. I don't know why he has such a passionate fan base at times. Like, I don't know. I wasn't a fan of the signing when it happened. I'm not the biggest fan of our outfield right now. Even the guys that I like, it's like they're just not cutting it right now. Marsh, 262, 333, 384, 717 OPS, 5 home runs, 24 RBIs, 12 doubles. Had a real good game recently. I think it was not yesterday's game, but the day before he had a home run. Yeah, he had a home run in that game. But yeah, hasn't been doing the greatest either. Nick Castellanos, 266, 307, 431, 738 OPS. Him, Trey, Harper, and Schwarber are kind of like our best players. Like Nick only is just above like league average in terms of OPS plus, but like he's been doing all right. 23 doubles, 14 home runs, 58 RBIs. Obviously, the big thing is the strikeouts with guys like him and Schwarber. But Nick's been all right. Definitely regressed defensively, and I know people are like gonna say like he's always been a bad defender, but like the Phillies were able to hide it for like the past couple of seasons, but like this year it's just undeniable. And I think the biggest thing with that is the fact of the way our outfield is. Like I said, it's kind of it makes things harder for the corner positions when your center fielders aren't able to cover as much, because even when Rojas is playing, like he doesn't cover as much as like previous years. So it's like it just makes it harder for the corner outfields, knowing that balls that they might have comfortably given to the center fielder at some points is now it's like you just got to run and try and make that play. But of course, probably our best player right now on the offensive wise, Kyle Schwarber, 253 batting average, 380 on base, 576 slugging, 957 OPS, a 160 OPS plus, 37 home runs, 86 RBIs, 74 walks to 126 strikeouts is still kind of good for a guy like Kyle Schwarber. The man has just been carrying this offense. He's really our only power threat right now, because no one else on this team has yet to break 20. And yet Kyle, I'm more confident that Kyle is going to reach 40 before anyone gets close to 20. Because the next closest person is Harper with 15 and Castellanos with 14. So like I told my dad, this trade deadline, we really need a power bat, and specifically righty, because we have so many lefties. We have Harper, we have Stott, we have, I forget if Kepler's a lefty, but I know Marsh is, Schwarber is. So it's like we need someone that's a righty and has power. On the bench, real notable guys right now, Sosa and Otto Kemp, who got called up. He's been doing pretty well in his time. Nothing like too crazy, but he's been nicely plugged in to help us out during Bohm and Harper's injury stints. But everyone else, especially like our bench, they're not like contributors other than Sosa. Like Sosa at least has been contributing here and there. He's a great utility player for us. But yeah, everyone else, even like it doesn't matter who it is, whether it's Rojas, Weston Wilson, Marshawn, it's like they just haven't been doing well, making it like even harder to try and platoon guys like Marsh and Stott, because it's like it's kind of hard to do that if whoever's on the bench isn't doing that great, which is why I said, Kemp and Sosa have been real helpful in the past couple of like series. Pitching wise, Zach Wheeler, 2.56 ERA, 172 strikeouts, 0.89 whip. Absolute legend. Hoping he gets the Cy Young this year, but it's going to be difficult with Paul Skeens and his teammate Christopher Sanchez, 2.55 ERA, 139 strikeouts. And they both kind of pitched the similar amount of innings, so it's like it's a close race, But yeah, really glad to see both guys doing really well. Really sucks Sanchez couldn't get that All-Star nod, but it's all right. Jesus Luzardo, talk about coming back down to earth, 4.31 ERA compared to when we were talking about him. The guy's just been struggling a lot this season with like tipping pitches and not locating his stuff properly, so it's tough to see. Hope it just gets better. Ranger, 2.59 ERA. Really hoping we can bring him back as like Ranger's pretty reliable, He did have that one game against the Angels where he just struggled. Padres too, because he gave up like 3 runs, and 6.2 innings, 3 runs isn't terrible, but considering he lost the game 2-4, it's like you would have liked to see him not let up that much. And then the Angels game, like I said, he let up 6, but he came back with the Yankees performance, only 1 earned run in 5.2 innings, so really, really glad he's got him back on it. And Taiwan's just Taiwan. Nola still isn't back. Literally talked about it at the start of the season. I was like, knock on wood. Let me get back in the groove of this. I was like, knock on wood, our pitching staff is always pretty healthy. Nola's always pretty healthy, and then he literally goes down and hasn't pitched since the 14th of May. Really sucks to see. Hope we can get him back in time to like ramp up for playoffs, because playoff Nola, for the most part, he has a couple games where you're just like, damn. It's classic Nola. He has games where you're like, damn, and other games where you're like, he's right there with Wheeler as our number 1 option. Bullpen. Oh, man. Shout out Matt Strom. Shout out Kirkring. You don't even shout out Tanner Banks. He's been holding it down still. He's been holding it down. 3.23 ERA is pretty good. And he's scoreless in his last 5 appearances. He hasn't let up any earned runs, any runs at all. So he's a good lefty for us if Strom's not available. Strom, 2.98 ERA. Again, also scoreless in his past 5 appearances. Kirkring, 2.72 ERA. Only 1 earned run in his past 5 appearances. But, yeah, those 3 have been doing great. Everyone else, Joe Ross, Carlos Hernandez, Romano. Let's not even get started on Romano. Like, it doesn't matter who they plugged in and played. They just were not doing well. But bullpen needs a massive overwork, The depressing part is that they said they're not making any moves. Mainly because I think they're really considering calling up like Painter for the playoffs and maybe a couple other guys. But the big move, of course, Yohan Duran coming over to the Philadelphia Phillies. I'm excited, man. I'm excited. As someone beautifully put it on Twitter. Since the start of this core, we have never had a legitimate closer. It was always closer by committee or someone who wasn't actually a closer, like Eflin and Ranger were being our closers at times. Now we have someone to call our closer, someone to officially call. Because even when Hoffman was here, it was always between Hoffman and Strom splitting it or Alvarado coming out. Like, it was always someone different. Now you have someone who in close games can come out for you and just throw straight gas. This man threw 103, 104, and 105 in one inning. This man is an absolute flamethrower. Right now has a 2.01 ERA. 16 saves is pretty much the equivalent to how many games our bullpen has blown. I wish I could. Is there? No, I don't know if there's a. Here, let me see. How many games has the Phillies bullpen lost? Here, let me see how many blown saves do the Phillies bullpen have. 17 blown saves in the current season. So 16 of those would have been saved by Johan Duran. We have a save percentage of 61%. This is why Johan Duran is needed very much. This man, he's going to hopefully help this bullpen a lot, but I also don't want him to do a majority of the workload. Like, I want this team to help him out. And I was honestly afraid because when the news came out that they were thinking of trading for Johan Duran, the first thing that came out was the Twins' asking price is Andrew Painter. I'm not making that trade if we got to give up Painter, but they found a way to work around it. And they gave up Mick Abel and Eduardo Tayate, one of the two, I forget. But, Abel showed us what he could be. Abel showed us also on the opposite spectrum what he also could be. So I'm not too upset about it, especially for a reliever like Johan Duran, who's under control for 2 more seasons. Like, we have him for 2 more seasons. So it's not really a rental. And I think Dombrowski said it that, like, if it was a rental, he wouldn't have given up what he gave up. But because we get him for 2 more seasons, it gives you confidence in the trade, that you're going to hopefully get 2 quality seasons out of this guy and this half season. Well, less than half season, but I am super excited for Johan Duran to be here. Finally, a big old closer for us. No more heart attacks. Hopefully no more having to see Jordan Romano warming up in the 9th unless it's because we're down or up by double digits. But yeah, super, super happy with this Johan Duran trade. But let's finally get into some of the big trades that have been happening outside of the Phillies, because I know there's a lot more to talk about. All right. So the big one from last night that broke my heart because I wanted him in Philly. Mariners acquired third baseman Eugenio Suarez from the Diamondbacks for Tyler Locklear, Hunter Cranton, and Juan Burgos. Big trade for the Mariners. They not only get Josh Naylor from the Diamondbacks, but they now get Eugenio Suarez. Man, I really wanted Gino in Philly because the guy has just been amazing this year. Just has been playing just like the slugging that he's just had is just crazy this year. He's had some pretty great slugging seasons before, like 2019 with the Reds, he had 49 home runs. And he's done pretty well the past seasons. Like, other than 2023, he was like getting up to 30 pretty much every year, like 31, 31, 30 last year with the Diamondbacks. Goes back to Seattle though with this trade. But right now, 36 home runs, 87 RBIs. Pretty great stuff. Pretty great stuff. And the best part, 897 OPS, 143 OPS plus, 320 on base, 576 slugging. That doesn't have the greatest walk to strikeout ratio. Like right now, he only has 29 walks to 117 strikeouts. But with that type of power, and plus the 19 doubles that come along with it, it's like you don't really care too much, Like I would not care too much about that right now. But that is the trade that is going down. He's going back to Seattle. Surprised to see Seattle making all these moves, considering what they did in the offseason, but they recognize that their offense just needed a lot of bolstering. So what do? They get Suarez and Naylor. Really going to help them out. Just really wanted that as our third baseman because it's like that's a position in need. But oh well. And then the big one that just happened right now this morning. Padres acquire Mason Miller and J.P. Sears from the Athletics for Leo DeVries, Braden Nett, Henry Baez, and Eduardo Nunez. Leave it up to the Padres. The Padres are always going to be big spenders with A.J. Preller. Always, well, not big spenders in terms of contracts, but like they're willing to sacrifice a good portion of their farm for this, That is quite a lot of prospects. That is a crazy package to see. Mason Miller, one of the best bullpen arms. Hasn't been doing too well this season, but one of the best bullpen arms. They have him under control until 2029. Like, this is a pretty big trade for the Padres and shows that they're clearly buying in. Meanwhile, the Giants, it seems like they're not buying in. I think it's mainly because the Giants, they see they're 9 games back and maybe see the writing as on the wall, while the Padres, they see the way the Dodgers have kind of slumped a bit with their losing streak, and they're like, we're only 3 games back. Like, we can still fight. So that helps out their bullpen quite a lot. Even helps out their rotation a little bit with J.P. Sears. That's quite the big trade. Some other ones, the Mets got Ryan Helsley and what was the other one? Tyler Rogers? Yeah, Tyler Rogers. Gave up quite a bit for Tyler Rogers, but at the same time, then they go out and get Helsley. So it's like, all right, they're locking up their bullpen as well. This is going to be quite the race for the NL East. The Blue Jays got Shane Bieber from the Guardians. I saw that one. I think it was this morning too. We're still waiting for him to come back to the majors because of the Tommy John. He's on like rehab assignment right now, I think. And it's crazy to see Emmanuel Clase. Bro got caught like betting or something. We're going to see what happens there. Really took a big reliever off the market and made it so that no one knew who the Guardians were going to trade, because there was also Kate Smith that could have been traded. But yeah, it's definitely interesting to see this trade for the Blue Jays. It's kind of like a low risk, high reward type thing if Bieber's able to come back playing really well. Let's see, any other big trades? The Yankees got Ryan McMahon to be their third baseman. Reds got Zach Littell. And Key Brian Hayes. I forgot about that one. But, interesting to see if they can get him going now that he's in a very hitter-friendly ballpark. Anything else? Cubs got Mike Soroka. The Blue Jays got Sir Anthony Dominguez during a doubleheader, so he switched sides after the first game. Chris Paddock to the Tigers. I remember that one. My friend and I were talking about it. Tigers also got Paul Sewald. Let's see. Astros got Ramon Urias. Nothing too crazy yet. Waiting for the next big trade. So we're probably going to be at that portion right now where it's just waiting for the big trade notifications to come through, Once they do, you'll obviously see me pop back in. Phillies, we need a big bat, please. I don't know who it's going to be at this point because, Suarez is off the board. I don't know. I'm waiting to see do the Red Sox sell 59 and 51. That's 8 games above 500, 5 games back of the Blue Jays. They're still right there with the Yankees. Do they sell? Do they trade off some of their players or not? You know, that's kind of the tough part. You're looking at a lot of these teams here and trying to figure out who's in, who isn't. You know, are the Guardians going to trade Quan? They're 9 games back. They're 9 games back of Detroit. You know, do the Texans? Oh my gosh. Do the Rangers sell any of their players? Do the Angels trade anyone off? I mean, the Angels, who knows what's going to happen there. But, like, is Arizona done dealing players off? Are the Giants going to be dealing players off? Looking at all these other teams, it's like, you know, McKenzie, not for, like, the Phillies, like, necessarily for trades, but, like, there's also other teams like the Nationals who could be trading Mackenzie Gore as, like, a big-name player to getting traded. So, a lot of interesting stuff to see here. But just like last year, like I said, I'll be stepping away. The next time you'll hear, it'll be a cut to when the next big trade happens. And I hope it's not like last year where it took like forever for a big trade to happen and then we were just getting spammed with a bunch of trades at the deadline date, you know. But also that made it very exciting. But also it was like, dude, I just sat here for like 3 hours. But that's it for this portion. Really happy with Johan Duran. Excited to see what moves the Phillies make because Dombrowski said he still has a lot more to make, but who knows if that just means one move that's like a bench bat, you know, like we know what Dombrowski's capable of at times. So trying not to get my hopes up, but this team really, if this team really wants to be the contender that people say they are, and I believe that this team can go very far, but there just needs to be a lot of changes, and one of those comes with acquiring actual power, which is why I wanted Geno so bad, because it's crazy to think no one else on this team is anywhere close to 20, while Schwarber's about to hit 40, you know, like this team needs, and again, I get it. Harper literally has only played 80 games this season compared to like 108, 106 from Schwarber, Turner, Castellanos, you know, so like he hasn't played as many. If he played as many, he probably would be up there. But like no one else is hitting for power, and also no one else is really hitting for average, as we saw, you know, like Turner's doing really well, Bohm's been doing better, but it's like just I need better upgrades on this team, especially in the outfield spot. You know, I don't know who it's gonna be because we don't know who's gonna get traded, but it's like it needs something, preferably from the right-handed side, but at this point we need anything. But that's it for this portion. Let the trade deadline continue. All right, popping back in. The Tigers are trading for Kyle Finnegan from the Nationals. This man's been one of the names at the trade deadline for like 2 seasons now, basically. He's getting traded. Trying to see what the trade package is. And as we're discussing this, I just saw that the Phillies are making yet another trade with the the Twins. Looks like the Nationals are getting 2 pitching prospects for Kyle Finnegan. And the Phillies are finalizing a trade for Twins outfielder Harrison Bader. So the Phillies are making a move for the outfield position. Harrison Bader, righty bat, 31 years old. Where's the contract at? I just want to see. I want to know what's his contract so I know how many years of control this is for, especially when we look at eventually what they give up. Looks like it's just a 1 year, $10 million. Another outfielder from the Twins, just like Max Kepler. But okay, let's pull up the batting. Right now in 2025, he has a 2.8 WAR, 70 hits. 70 hits seems kind of low. 13 doubles, 12 home runs, 38 RBIs, 258, 339, 439, slashing line, 778 OPS, 111 OPS plus. Sure, man. $96 games this year. I mean, sure. Definitely an upgrade over Kepler. Maybe an upgrade over Marsh. I'm putting up their stats to really compare it. Wait, isn't there a way I can compare players on here? Sorry, I'm trying to find a place that you go to compare players, but I'm not seeing it. Where's the versus? Versus finding charges. Alright, let's compare some players. Harrison Bader. Brandon Marsh. Max Kepler. Let's see. Oh dang, wait, how do I... Let's get their 2025 seasons. Okay, upgrade over both of them basically. He's played 2 more games than Kepler. He has a 2.8 WAR. I'll look at his defensive stats because I feel like that's where the main contribution is going to be. But 8 more hits than both men. 1 more home run than Kepler. 7 more than Marsh. 5 more RBIs than Kepler. 14 more than Marsh. 10 stolen bases to Kepler's 1 and Marsh's 5. Marsh has the better batting average, but yet Bader has the better on-base slugging, OPS, and OPS plus. So that's an upgrade. That's an upgrade right there. I'm waiting to see what the trade package is, though, for a player like this. Let's see. Harrison Bader's... Let's see, his fielding. So he's played the outfield for most of the season. .205 putouts, 5 outfield assists, only 1 error, .995 fielding percentage, with a 100 fielding percentage in center and right, with the 1 error coming in left. Decent league fielding percentage. defensive runs saved above average, 13. Defensive runs, first downs, range factor. Alright, he looks to be like a plus defender as well, so he'll probably take either Kepler's spot in left or Marsh's spot. Because I don't think, unless Casty gets dealt, I really don't think Casty's getting benched or moved around unless he gets traded. Especially, I don't think he gets moved to left. So Bader, we're probably looking at Bader as our left or center fielder. But more than likely, I think he's going to be left. My dad just texted me. I still need the trade package. So time to go to Jeff Passan on Twitter. We already know that's where the likely source will be. Oh, for wrestling fans, AEW added every single AEW pay-per-view from 2019 to 2024. 35 full-length shows. That was the first thing that popped up when I opened Twitter. But Jeff Passan, show me the trade package. Oh my gosh. Wait a second, hold on. I think am I signing here? Oh, okay, I can sign in. My goodness, why is this taking so long? I'm happy with it though. I mean, I know Harrison Bader, especially because he used to play on the Mets. That's why I was kind of hesitant when I heard the name. I was like, Harrison Bader, but he looks to be doing pretty well. Let's see, Jeff Passan. The Harrison Bader to Philadelphia deal, which is pending medical review, will send an outfield prospect and a pitching prospect to the Twins. Of course, it's a post about the Phillies making a trade, and who's in the replies already? Mets fans. Are we surprised? Oh my gosh, man. Why are people so dumb? They're over here talking about, oh, you guys traded Andrew Pena. You guys traded Justin Crawford. You're not trading those two prospects for Harrison Bader. Also, I know the Mets aren't talking about overpays. It's looking like it's going to be Mendez, Vioria, number 12 prospect. That isn't that bad, especially for Bader. I wasn't expecting anything like too crazy for them to trade, you know, because it's like, it's not like some premier outfielder like Steven Kwan, Jared Duran, like those names that are on the market. Oh my gosh. This is the one thing, reason why people like hate what Twitter's become, because like all the AIs and stuff. You have this obviously AI account trying to talk about this deal, and they're like, oh, he has a negative 0.3 WAR and 636 OPS. Harrison Bader this season has a 2.8 WAR. What is it, 2.8 WAR? Yeah, 2.8 WAR and a 778 OPS. They're literally looking at his year with Cincy from 2 years ago when he had a negative 0.3 WAR and a 429 OPS. Actually, wait, what OPS did this bot even say he had? A 636. Has he ever had a 636 OPS in his life? No, he hasn't. Harrison Bader has never had a 636 OPS, and yet this bot is just talking like that. That's what social media has become nowadays. Just absolute AI bots, dead internet theory. Harrison Bader's never had a 636 OPS. I hate the way things have become. But I'm trying to get the I don't know if Mendez and I don't know if that's the official one. Mendez and Vioria. That's what I keep seeing people say, but like nothing official yet. Hendry Mendez and Jeremy Vioria. That's from Matt Gelb. Also, why are so many teams double dipping? Mariners double dip and get Naylor and Suarez. We double dip and get Duran and Bader. Okay, so they still have pieces for Robert or Quan. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. How do we tell them, guys? How do we tell them? The Phillies would not. I would love Quan just because my dad and I for years have been wanting just someone who prioritizes like contact over everything. And like Trey kind of does that, but Trey also has his moments where he's like, I'm gonna swing for the fences, and it's like, Trey, we don't need you to do that, you know. But okay. Harrison Bader trade, not that bad, not that bad. Especially looking at James Gunn's Superman has become the first solo Superman movie to pass 300 million domestically. We won, guys. We won. We're so back. But okay, I'm gonna believe that's the trade package then, is Mendez and Vioria. Which I'm not too upset with that trade package. Especially, I mean, the big thing is that Bader is a rental. Oh, what does this say? Harrison Bader has a $10 million mutual option for 2026, giving the Phillies some options moving forward while not committing to it. Oh, okay, so there's an option there. And both prospects are outside the top 10, it looks like. Yeah, they are out there. They are outside the top 10 because Hendry Mendez is number 12 in AA, expected to debut next year. A lefty bat too, 21 years old. And then where's Vioria? I don't even see bro on this list, so he's not even in our top 30. So that's not that bad of a trade then if we don't have to give up a guy who's not even in our top 30. Is there a way to see like our full? No, I don't think there's a way to see like our full prospect list. Oh, here, top 50 prospects. But this is probably like what? Yeah, it's from the start of the year, so we probably won't even see. We probably won't even see some of the names that we're seeing here. Dang, look at this. This guy had Otto Kemp as a tier 5 prospect, which, I mean, it makes sense, but like you see what he's helping the team with now. It's pretty cool to see. There's Hendry Mendez. Man, I don't even see him. Okay, though. Haven't been giving up too crazy prospects. Okay, so we're cooking right now. But at the same time, you know, it's not me trying to be like, we need to make big trade. We need to go out there, big name guys. But like at the same time, like, I think a lot of Philly fans would be like, okay, this is cool, but like, this is giving flashbacks to like Austin Hayes, Whit Merrifield, like those type of signings or trades where it's like, we're gonna get this like middle of the pack player. And it's like, I would like for us to do more. I would like for us to get an impact bat. Harrison Bader will be an upgrade, but it's not like this crazy upgrade bat, you know. Cardinals traded Steven Matz to Boston for Blaze Jordan. Okay. That's weird. The Mason Miller trade pops up twice on this transaction list. Andrew Kittredge. Yeah, I'm not seeing anything else big in the trades yet, but this is crazy. Okay. All right, well, Harrison Bader is now a Philly. Definitely an upgrade. Definitely an upgrade over our team right now, or for our team right now. Plus defender, better offensively than two of our outfielders right now. Actually, hold on, let me pull up Nick Castellanos now. Let me see. What about Nick? How's he compared to Nick in the outfield? Better on base, better slugging, better OPS plus, obviously more stolen bases, but Nick has the better average and the better batting stats. He has 38 more hits, 2 more home runs, 20 more RBIs, so yeah, no. Nick's definitely staying in the right field spot. Bader will probably be left field. Marsh will be center. And Kepler will more than likely just be a platoon bat from this point, even though he doesn't like that, but that's probably what it's going to be. And then Marsh might be center. I still want more moves, though. Something to shore up the bench maybe a little bit more. I would love a big name bat, but at the same time, I don't know who they're going to get. I don't think they're going to get a Quan. I don't want them to get a Robert because that guy is still struggling. But other people are like, oh, well, look what happened with Andrew Vaughn once he left Chicago. Like, he's popping off with the Brewers right now. So I don't know. I'm not as high on Robert as others, but we'll see. But all right, on to the next portion. The next cut will probably be me again talking about whatever new trade comes in. Although at this point, I'm wondering who's still left on the market. All right, more big trades. Yankees traded for David Bednar. Gave up, I think, like 2 prospects, one a catching prospect. Yankees need their closer. They got one. Or maybe not even closer. He might just be a bullpen piece for them. Really depends on how they shape things out with Weaver and man, why am I blanking on his name? The guy they got from the Brewers. Alright, hold on, let me see. Let's pull up Bednar's stats this season, because I actually haven't been paying attention. I know he's obviously one of the sought out relievers this year, but let's see. 2.37 ERA, 17 saves. Way better bounce back than last year. Yeah, so he could be the Yankees closer. Let's see, hold on. Devin Williams is what I was thinking of. Yeah, he's probably their closer. Weaver is a setup man. And then the Mets just traded for Cedric Mullins. That one just like popped through right now. Let's see. 19 doubles, 15 home runs, 49 RBIs, 14 stolen bases, 229 batting average, 305 on base, 433 slugging, 738 OPS. And we know what his defense is like, so all right. Mets boosting up their outfield. What does that give them now? That gives them Soto and right. Soto in right, Nimmo in left, Mullins in center. Way better of an upgrade over Tyrone Taylor. They got a pretty good lineup now. I mean, they had a pretty good lineup, but like, that's a good addition. It's just all about what did they give up to get a Cedric Mullins. That's a pretty prominent player. The Dodgers also traded for a reliever, and it's now being updated that James Outman is going to the Twins as a part of that. I didn't cover that trade when it first happened because I was like, there's not like much to cover with it when it first dropped, because they were just like, oh yeah, they're acquiring Brock Stewart, but they weren't saying much about it. Yankees just traded for another reliever, Jake Bird. Dude, what is going on with my mouse right now? It's like every time I click, it does like a double click, bro. Where are the details on the Cedric Mullins trade, though? This is what I'm interested in. This is also going as a way better deadline than last year, where I literally waited like 3 hours before a big move happened. Why are Yankees fans in the replies? This is crazy. Alright, I guess Passan doesn't have it, so let's just look up Cedric Mullins and see. Raymond Gomez, Anthony Nunez, Chandler Marsh. Mets prospects. Anthony Nunez, number 14, right-handed pitcher. Raymond Gomez, number 30th in their system ranking, right-handed pitcher. What was the other one? Chandler Marsh. I don't see him, so he's probably not in their top 30. So they didn't really even give up that much. I guess that really goes to show how much Mullins, how much his value is kind of depleted in the past couple of years, because they probably could have gotten like a whole lot more for him. Not last year, because last year he also kind of was all right. I mean, the past 2 seasons he's kind of been like all right, nothing like crazy. Best season was probably 2021 and 2022, like as far as like value. 2021 he definitely had the most value with 30 home runs. 30 home runs with only 59 RBIs. 878 OPS that season, though, 137 plus. So yeah, that 2021 and 2022 were probably like the best seasons they could have got stuff for him. Definitely bounced back a little this year in terms of like OPS, but like batting average has not been the same since those last 2 seasons I mentioned. 2023 and 2024 he's been like all right. But he's obviously a plus defender. I mean, we saw that catch he made the other day, so good get for the Mets. But let's see. Man, Yeah, this is a good deal for the Mets because people are looking at like. I mean, Chandler Marsh looks like a pretty good prospect in terms of like the stats he's put up so far, but like. One of the prospects they gave up has like a 15% walk percentage. Man, it really feels like they basically gave up nothing. Not that the prospects aren't good, but it's just like, it's definitely surprising to see them give up that haul for a name like Mullins. Who does that leave on the market now? Because I don't think, do the Guardians sell at this point? Especially with the Class A suspension pending. Do they panic? Do they hit that button and just like, we gotta go? I'm trying to think, what other notable players? That's the thing, I can't think of like any notable players other than like Quan and like Durant, but I don't think Boston's selling at this point, especially after that trade package at the Padres game. If they're not selling Durant for that, I definitely don't think Boston's selling. I don't know, St. Louis is kind of sold off most of it. I don't think any of their other players get traded, especially because of like contracts. Minnesota's been selling like crazy, but I don't think they're going to get rid of any more of their like big name players. I think they're just getting rid of whoever can help build for next season when they can run it back with their core, you know, like they're not going to trade off like Royce Lewis or Buxton. I know my friend was telling me about like I don't know if it was like a fax or like not, but it was like he was telling me about like Correa. Technically, I think the Twins still have Willie Castro who might get traded. The utility bench bat could be pretty good. They could get some pieces for that. Washington will they trade Mackenzie Gore? Will they not? They could flip Josh Bell at yet another deadline. Josh Bell seems to always be getting flipped at a deadline. I don't know. Very interesting. Very interesting. Where's my pen? But we still got, well, it's about to be 1 right now. And we have until 6 Eastern, 3 o'clock. So that gives us 2 more hours of the deadline. I will pop back in when the next trade happens. Literally, what was I just saying in that previous segment when we were talking about the other trades? We just got breaking news that Carlos Correa is going back to Houston. Let's try and pull up the trade details. Let's see. It's funny how my friend was just talking to me about that yesterday. I gotta message him about this right now too. This is crazy. Jeff Passan tweeted out, Twins are trading shortstop Carlos Correa to the Astros. Correa to Houston deal looked dead 24 hours ago. They revisited, bridged a significant financial gap in Houston with Isaac Paredes out for the season. I didn't even know that. Welcome home Correa, who waived his no-trade clause to approve the deal. Let's see. Ryan O'Hearn. Okay, but where are the trade details, please? We need the trade details. This is pretty big trade. The top comment is bang, and in parentheses it says like the trash can. Jeff, what about Adolis Garcia? He's going to the Mets. Oh my gosh, man. My mouse is killing me today, dude. Like, actually killing me. Like, every time I click, it doesn't click. Every time I click, it does a double click. Like, running it back with the trash can to cheat one more time. That's hilarious. World Series. Someone put Celtic Shack. Okay, but where are the trade details, man? Oh wait, Adolis Garcia is trending too. I want to see what is this, because I saw that person saying about Adolis Garcia getting traded. Mike Deportes tweeting Adolis Garcia to the Mets 15 minutes ago just to get ignored. There's zero confirmation of Adolis Garcia to the Mets. None. Okay. No, I don't think Adolis got traded yet, but I'm trying to figure out the trade details for his Correa trade, because that's pretty big, especially because we saw last year Houston traded away some prospects, so I'm wondering what is going on. Also, how could Adolis Garcia be, I mean, do they want him to replace Starling Marte as the DH? Is that what they would want to do if the Mets traded for him? Yeah, I didn't see the whole Paredes out for a season thing too, so that threw me off with Jeff's tweet about, you know, him being out for the season. If Correa's out, does that mean Buxton and Royce are out? No, I don't think so. Although the Phillies could dip back in. Byron Buxton, center field, not playing. Come on, where are the details? We need the details. Carlos Correa. Let it be known I am not a big fan of Carlos Correa. Let's see. Where are the details? Oh, dude, the memes are crazy, bro. Why did I just see some guy get his shirt ripped off in Walmart and someone's like, this is going to be Correa to Brendan Rodgers tomorrow to get that number 1. Let's see. Come on, where? Oh, welcome back, cheater. Let's see, reacquire. Waived is no trade clause. I didn't even know Carlos. The difficulties of trying to record in a Hispanic household. But man, what a trade right here. What a trade right here. Houston obviously at the top of the division right now. Like, at worst, you're bringing back a Houston favorite. You're 5 games above Seattle and Texas. And with the news that Paredes is out, you need someone over at third. You don't really want... Can Dubon even play third? What positions has he mainly played? 4, 7, 6, 5. I mean, he could technically play third, I would think. I mean, because this thing is literally just utility infield. But yeah, you know, it's like I guess it makes sense to me. Let me look up. I was literally just on the Twins page, so let me see what Correa's been doing this season. 'Cause I know he hasn't been that great this season. 704 OPS, 267 batting average, 387 slugging, has 7 home runs, 31 RBIs, 19 doubles though. I don't really have much to say on this trade because, like I said, I'm not a big Carlos Correa fan, but I do want to see the prospects because, that's the big thing to me is, because the Astros have, they haven't, what's the way to put it? They've been trading a lot of their prospects, the past couple of years. We saw it with the Kikuchi trade last year at the deadline. They're willing to give up their prospects. So it's very interesting to me to see who they would have given up. And it also kind of makes sense to make this trade if Paredes does go down and you don't want to go with Dubon, because I don't think the Astros really have any MLB ready prospects that could play third. Because the two that are supposedly, based on the prospect rankings that are supposed to be like MLB ready are Bryce Matthews and Jacob Melton, but Melton's an outfielder. Matthews primarily plays up the middle, second or shortstop. And I guess like technically you could move Pena to third, but like this is obviously like in Houston's eyes, this is like the better option, like because Pena's been having a bit of a resurgence this year compared to like his previous 2 years. Like, let me see, 867 OPS, like he's doing really good. 322 batting average, 11 home runs, 40 RBIs, 18 doubles, 102 hits this season. Like you don't want to disrupt that groove that like, and now that he's just gained himself back into form, you know, it's like you wouldn't want to disrupt that by making him go over to third, which I don't even know if he's ever played third. I know he's mainly been shortstop, so I don't think he's ever played third. So could he do it? Maybe, but like this seems like the better option for Houston to just be like, let's go what we know works. But like Jeff Passan said though, financials is the biggest thing too with this trade, because Correa is still on a pretty lengthy contract. Like, let's see, he's literally signed until 2028 with 4 team options afterwards. But at earliest, he could be a free agent in 2029. But yeah, 2028, making 32 million, 37 million this year, 32 million next year, 31 the last 2 years. How does Houston make that work? I mean, it's not like they have a ton of big contracts, but they did go out and sign Christian Walker this past offseason. They did take on Isaac Paredes. But actually, no, Paredes doesn't even have that big of a contract. Yeah, I think Christian Walker is really the only one with a big contract right now. They do have to worry about, is it Framber that's a free agent after this season? Hold on. He is a free agent after the season, so they got to worry about him. How does Correa's contract play into that? Very interesting move here, Houston. Another Twins trade. Danny Colombo traded to the Rangers. But dude, we still haven't heard anything about this Correa trade. Like, as far as like, what is the trade package? Because how did they make the financials work? Like, that's the big thing. A Twins fan tweeted, "I don't have to pretend to like Carlos Correa anymore." Okay, but where? Dang, nothing about the details. Man. Oh well. I'm gonna leave this recording. Once the details are, brought back out, I'll come back in and talk about it. But yeah, what a crazy trade right now. Carlos Correa to the Astros, pretty big. All right, another trade. Still don't have the details about the Correa trade, but we have 2 more trades. We have, let's see, Astros acquiring outfielder Jesus Sanchez from the Marlins. All right. And then the Padres getting first baseman Ryan O'Hearn and outfielder Ramon Laureano from the Baltimore Orioles. Top comment, AJ Preller would trade his own children if he could. I need to see what they even gave up at this point, because what do the Padres have left to give up? Because I just pulled up their top 30. A lot of guys in like low A's, double A, like what could they have given up? Like they still have Ethan Salas, but like I don't know. AJ Preller is a funny man. But let me, as always, pull up stats Obviously, Ryan O'Hearn was one of the big ones because he's like one of the few people in Baltimore that was like actually performing well at this point. So let me pull up. Let's pull up the Padres and Orioles stats to see who's been first baseman for. Oh, really? Wait, hold on. They've been DHing Gavin Sheets rather than Luis Arias? I would have thought Arias would have been a DH, but then again, I don't. Yeah, never mind. They don't have anyone else to put it first. But that's probably what's going to be the move now. Probably move Luis Arias to DH, and then O'Hearn at first. Or hold on, let me see. Oh, O'Hearn's been mainly DHing. How many? Hold on. What are his splits on the season? Let me see. 31 games at DH, 48 at first base, 20 in the outfield, with 18 of them being in right. So, I mean, they could play him in the outfield, but no, I think he's mainly going to be first base. Let's see. 15 doubles, 13 home runs, 43 RBIs, 283, 374, 463 slash line with an 837 OPS. Definitely an upgrade. Will slot in nicely into this Padres lineup. Ramon Laureano is the one that also is like, who do we think he's gonna play over? Jason Hayward probably. Dude, Jason Hayward has a 494 OPS. Yeah, he's playing over Jason Hayward. How in the world have the Padres been rolling out Jason Hayward? Yeah, Ramon Laureano is definitely going to be playing in the left field for them. 884 OPS. Is he more of a platoon? 82 games? Not really. 15 home runs, 46 RBIs, 290, 355, 529 slash line with an 884 OPS. This is actually a pretty good trade for the Padres. Jeez, Phillies, why couldn't you trade for a Ramon Laureano? Then again, remember how bad dude was in Cleveland last year? I wouldn't want to take the risk that that's the type of player we get here. But man, this is a good trade for the Padres depending on what they gave up, because that gives them a new first baseman or DH. They can honestly figure out what they want to do with Arias and him. And it gives them someone to finally play over Jason Hayward. I mean, Jason Hayward's only played 34 games for him, so it's not like he was like their starter for a long time, you know. But man, this Padres lineup looks really good now. That's a pretty good trade for the Padres, but it all depends. It all comes down to what they gave up for it, and also what's O'Hearn's contract status like? Is he a free agent after this season? He is a free agent. Oh man. Dude, what did the Padres give up? I have to find out now, like. We need the details, Jeff. We need them. This is crazy. This is a good deadline, man. This is a crazy deadline. Still don't have the details on the Correa one. Probably won't till like later. Man. Oh, by the way, it was confirmed we gave up Mendez and Vioria for Bader, so pretty good trade right there for the Phillies. Astros acquire Jesus Sanchez for Ryan Gusto. Okay. I forgot to mention this one. Freddie Fermin, the Padres also traded for. Because because Ethan Salas is not Ethan Salas. Oh my gosh, no. What's his name? Elias Diaz is who they have right now. So they got Freddie Fermin from the Royals, right? Yeah, from the Royals. Not like 648 OPS isn't like the greatest, but then you look at Elias Diaz with a 576 OPS. I mean, they basically traded for almost the same player, but you know, they just need something different. But yeah, I'm not seeing any details yet. But dude, this is a pretty crazy deadline. I'm not gonna lie to you. I just need to figure out if the Phillies are even thinking of making any moves anymore or not. Like, so I know whether to get my hopes up. But we got an hour and a half left, so I guess we'll see. I had to hop back in here. It's been quite some time since we were getting some notable news. We got some big ones. Merrill Kelly to the Rangers. That's a big one. And then Willie Castro got traded to the Cubs. Back to back from passing. This is pretty crazy. What does that give them as far as the rotation? Kelly. My gosh, why am I blank? I know his name. And yet I'm blanking on it badly. My gosh, it's gonna eat at me. Let's pull it up. Texans roster. Eovaldi, that's what I was thinking of. Eovaldi, Kelly, DeGrom, Corbin, Leiter, Malley. Man, I don't know what the Rangers gave up, but that's a big trade for them to get a good. Does that help them get over the bump though? We'll see, I guess. And then the Cubs, I'm surprised they didn't make a whole lot more moves, but I think they're just more confident in their team and believe that they're just going to break out of some of the slumps that some of their players are in. Let's see. Anything else though? The biggest thing is like these trades get reported and you don't get to see what they're giving up, so it's kind of difficult to analyze them. But that's a pretty big trade for the Rangers right there. That gives them a really good lineup. It's just all about a starting rotation. It's all about their lineup actually doing stuff. Because man, Josh Jung struggling, Jonah Heim struggling, Jake Berger struggling, Marcus Semien struggling. Seager's doing amazing this year. Langford's alright, Carter's alright, Adolis Garcia's struggling. Jock Peterson is struggling, dude. 475 OPS is crazy. 122 batting average. Struggling. Man. They have some good pieces off the bench though, but yeah, it's more about their offense than their rotation really. When do the Phillies play? Do they have a game today? Let's see. They do not. They have a game tomorrow. 3-game series against Detroit. That's going to be interesting. That is going to be interesting. It'll be very telling about this team. But let's see. 22 minutes now left at the deadline. Let's see what happens, guys. All right, 3 minutes left to the deadline, and the trades are just going rapid fire. The Angels got actually I didn't see Patton tweet about it, so I don't know if that one was real or not. I saw something about the Angels trading for Oswaldo Cabrera. I don't know if that one was real or not. But the Royals got Bailey Falter from the Pirates. The Red Sox got Dustin May from the Dodgers. The Yankees got Jose Caballero from the Rays. The Rays got Adrian Hauser from the White Sox. And the Rangers got Phil Maton from the Cardinals. Sorry, I'm just looking at some of the replies to some of these things. But trade deadline's going crazy in the final minutes, so I'm just gonna leave it running right now, even if there's a lot of dead air. Just gotta keep it running, man. You never know when the next trade's gonna come through. Jeff Passan can only tweet as fast as his fingers can go. Craziness. Does Joe Ryan get traded at the last second? What do we think? Twins are doing a fire sale. Oh damn, apparently they tweeted that Joe Ryan was going to the Red Sox before it was changed to Dustin May. Dude, that's I feel bad for Red Sox fans believing they might have gotten some Marsh. Why is Marsh trending? Probably just because of the Mets. Come on, Passan. What other trades are happening? MLB trade deadline. Let's see. Man, it's kind of crazy to me that that's the only trades the Phillies made. I mean, I'm happy with Yohan Duran, and Harrison Bader looks to be pretty good, but it's like, I don't know, man. Part of me wishes the Phillies did more. Let's see. Anything for the MLB trade deadline, please. We're in the last minute. It just hit 3 o'clock. Any last second news? It's not looking like it. Is that a wrap for our MLB trade deadline? It just might be. Not seeing anything pop up from anywhere. ESPN, MLB, Jeff Passan. It looks like that might be the wrap. I hit refresh and immediately get Jeff Passan's newest tweet. The Yankees are getting Camilo Doval from the Giants. That's crazy. Someone said at the buzzer. Dang, no one traded for Zach Gallen. No one traded for Joe Ryan. Maybe some of these guys weren't available, obviously. That's the big thing. But, man, anything? I mean, you remember last year, like, a bunch of stuff was getting announced afterwards because it was like, oh, just trying to play like catch up. But dang, Camilo Doval getting traded? I mean, I know he kind of struggled a bit like last year. I don't know how he was doing this year for the most part. Anything I'm looking through, like the transactions, seeing anything. This MLB.com transactions one, like this one genuinely is useless. Because like it's not even showing most of the trades that happen. But the website obviously is updating notable ones. Not seeing many other notable trades, but dang, that's a big one at the buzzer. This was a very interesting deadline. Charlie Morton is going to the Tigers per sources from Jeff Passan. Griffin Jacks to the Tampa Bay Rays. That's a big one. Wow. Minnesota actually did like a full-on like fire sale. They didn't trade like their bigger names, but like they really traded off a bunch of notable names. Charlie Morton to the Tigers is interesting. Passan's just tweeting as fast as he can, basically. Let's see about MLB. Is MLB tweeting anything out? Padres reportedly acquire Nestor Cortez from the Brewers. Sandy Alcantara and Edward Cabrera remain with the Marlins. Camilo Doval. No Luis Robert trade. Reds got Miguel Andujar. Taylor Rogers, who was acquired by the Pirates, and the Brian Hayes deal is being traded to the Cubs. Padres are acquiring this. How come this one didn't make headlines? Now it's making headlines. Yeah, there's the Miguel Andujar one. There's the Bailey one. Okay, give me back to Jeff Passan. See, always got to do an extra like 5 minutes after the deadline because they're just trying to get these reports out. But so while I continually hit refresh, shall we talk about the Phillies trade deadline? Because I don't know how to feel about it, man. Getting a guaranteed closer is amazing. They got an outfield right-handed bat, which is what I told my dad we needed, was a right-handed bat, and especially in the outfield. But like, that's it. Are we prospect hugging that much? Like, that's it. I don't know how to feel about it, man. I really don't. Maybe it's just asking for way too much. But I don't know, man. It just, I don't know. Like, I'm not like trying to be one of those fans that like, oh, they're going to go out and trade for this big name. But it's like, I don't know. I would have liked maybe one or two more pieces in the bullpen, like on the lower end. Like, it didn't have to be a Griffin Jacks or a Camilo Doval, you know, like those names. But it's like, really no one? You couldn't think of anyone? That's why it kind of upset me when Dombrowski was like, oh, we're pretty set with the bullpen. Like, I don't know. Like, you have two guaranteed, or not guaranteed, because sometimes they struggle, but like, you have Kirkring and Duran now as your two righty options, Strom and Banks as your two lefty options, but it's like, the bullpen isn't just four guys, you know, especially when you've seen that sometimes your starters are struggling to get out of like the fourth, fifth innings. You need more relievers, and especially because relievers mainly don't pitch back-to-back games. Like, I would have liked to seen a little bit more, but oh well. And then as far as just getting Harrison Bader as our offensive piece, you know, the reason I'm upset about it is mainly just because it's like, what's the way I want to put this? Like, this offense needs a lot more work than that, you know? Like, it needs a lot more work done than just that one move, you know? Like, I don't know. Maybe they're putting a little bit too much faith in their offensive pieces, but it's like, I don't know, man. I would have liked to seen something in the offense, maybe even something like in the, I mean, I would have maybe wanted to see one more piece in the outfield, maybe even potentially a piece in the infield, but like, I don't know. It's all depending on how Bryson Stott and Bohm continue to play, especially Bohm once he comes back. Like, that's the thing that worries me. Is like, are we going to be confident that Bohm coming back is going to be the same Bohm before he got that injury? You know, it's like, makes me a bit worried. I'm not gonna lie, I'm a bit worried about like how Bohm is going to play, but I don't know, man. I'm worried. I'm worried about the way this team is. Like, I was excited for this deadline. I was excited for like hopefully like some change, and like, it just doesn't seem like they're that in on like wanting change in a way, you know? Like, I don't know, man. I'm excited for the two pieces we got. It looks like with that, the deadline comes to a close, because now all that's cycling through is like the older ones. Like, I just got a notification about Dustin May, but it looks like they have caught up with the news, Jeff Passan. Minnesota is getting Taj Bradley and the Griffin Jacks deal. Okay, good to sneak that one in there, but looks like that is it for now. Crazy trade deadline. A lot of big pieces getting traded. Was glad to cover it. This is always fun every year. But thank y'all for joining this one. Catch you on the next one.